to be the Health Secretary's last walk up this street into Cabinet, as what was meant to be a routine weekly gathering morphed into something very different. Look at their faces. Nothing routine or typical about any of this.
Good evening. I'm just going to go and spend some time with my family.
Sajid Javid tonight heading home after quitting government and leaving the Prime Minister in peril. In a letter to Boris Johnson, Mr Javid said, "The tone you set as a leader and the values you represent reflects on your colleagues, your party and ultimately the country. But the country needs a strong and principled Conservative party, and the party's bigger than any one individual. I served you loyally and as a friend, but we all served the country first. When made to choose between those loyalties, there can only be one answer." And just minutes later, the Chancellor giving his answer to Rishi Sunak resigning too from government, saying in his letter to Mr Johnson, "The public rightly expect government to be conducted properly, competently and seriously. I recognise this may be my last ministerial job, but I believe these standards are worth fighting for, and that is why I am resigning. I'm sad to be leaving government, but I've come to the conclusion that we cannot continue like this." A government for months embroiled in sleaze and scandal, be it parties in number 10 during lockdowns or a porn-watching MP. The latest controversy was over this man, Chris Pincher, forced to resign from government over accusations of sexual harassment, made all the worse after it turned out that despite Number 10's denials, the Prime Minister knew of a past formal complaint all along and appointed him still.
Prime Minister, do you accept it was a grave error to appoint Chris Pincher to your government?
Yes, I think it was a mistake, and I apologise for it. I think in hindsight it was the wrong thing to do. I apologise to everybody who's been badly affected by it, and I just want to make absolutely clear that there's no place in this government for anybody who is predatory or who abuses their position of power.
Did you want to joke, though, Pincher by name, Pincher by nature?
Well, what I can tell you is that if I look at the background of this and why I regret it so much, is that about 3 years ago, there was a complaint made against Chris Pincher in the Foreign Office. The complaint was cleared up. He apologised. It was raised with me. Orally, I was briefed on what had happened, and you know, if I had my time again, I would think back on it and recognise that he wasn't going to learn any lesson, and he wasn't going to
Spend some time with my family.
Sajid Javid tonight heading home after quitting government and leaving the Prime Minister in peril. In a letter to Boris Johnson, Mr Javid...
Speaker, I want to apologise. I know that millions of people across this country have made extraordinary sacrifices over the last 18 months, and I know the rage they feel with me.
That a moment of shame for you?
I deeply and bitterly regret that happened, and I can only and renew my apologies both to Her Majesty and to the country.
I received